The Pokemon franchise has been around for over 20 years now, and whilst we've had plenty of mainline entries, there's also been a cornucopia of spin-offs for the franchise as well, ranging from Pokemon Snap, a game where you take photographs of your favourite Pokemon, to even a Pokemon typing game that even came with its own USB keyboard. But Detective Pikachu, the latest Pokemon spin-off, may just be the strangest one yet. Arriving very late in the 3DS lifespan, Detective Pikachu is a curious spin-off to the Pokemon franchise, which sees a popular yellow electric mouse donning a deerstalker and finally talking for the first time. It's a bizarre prospect that does sound odd at first, but in truth it works really well. The story follows a young lad called Tim Goodman who travels to Rhyme City to try and find out what happened to his father, who disappeared under suspicious circumstances. He bumps into Detective Pikachu more or less as he arrives into Rhyme City, and the duo hits it off immediately, and they're soon off solving mysteries together, with the overall goal to find out what happens to Tim's father. The story is certainly a very enjoyable tale with plenty of standout moments. Its cast of characters are also very charming, and its leading human character, Tim Goodman, is also a very likeable lead that does carry the story well. But with no doubt the star of the show is Detective Pikachu himself. The cute little Pokemon has been the mascot for the series for over 20 years now, and we've never seen him like this. Detective Pikachu has a voice of a 40-something rough-talking man who loves coffee and don't mind chatting up women. It's certainly very funny and amusing to watch. Gameplay-wise, the game feels very much like one of those 90s point-and-click games, as it sees the pair going around Rhyme City trying to solve various mysteries. You do this by exploring the city and talking to the various people and Pokemon who are around the crime scenes by asking them a list of questions. Once you've asked enough questions and gained enough information, you can then solve the case. There are also some puzzles thrown into the mix, though it should be known that they're not very taxing at all, but it does add a bit of variety to the game. The gameplay feels very much like the investigation sequences in the Phoenix Wright games, which is no bad thing, after all, because them games are absolutely brilliant. My only problem with the game is, bar the occasional QTM puzzle, the gameplay is just wandering around and talking to everyone. And whilst the conversations can be hilarious at times, there isn't really enough variety in the game. It would have been nice if the developers included more puzzles in the game, as this would have helped. Also, it shouldn't come to no surprise that the game is very easy and it's almost impossible to fail the game or get stuck at all, because all you have to do is talk to everybody and you'll be fine. Lengthwise, the game is split into 9 different chapters, all lasting between an hour or two, and sees you travelling to all different vistas of the city. And while the gameplay is still very much the same, it still makes for a fun 10 to 15 hour adventure. The game does lack replayability due to it being a linear story-driven game, but there are these mini Pikachu animations called Pika prompts to unlock in each chapter. There's well over 100 to unlock, which is a nice extra, but you can unlock them all by using the humongous Detective Pikachu amiibo on your 3DS. So good. Graphically, the game looks absolutely wonderful for a 3DS game, featuring some fantastic and colourful visuals, and it gives us a good hint on how the mainline Pokemon Switch game could look like. The game's character models are so well detailed, and it's great seeing Pokemon and humans living and cohabiting together in the world. There's plenty of little details in the game that look very impressive. The only downside is the lack of 3D, which is a shame, but it isn't a surprise considering Nintendo has been abandoning the feature for a while now. Sound-wise, the game features a pleasant soundtrack of jolly tunes that plays nicely in the background. The voice acting is also top-notch with some brilliant standout performances, but as I said before, Detective Pikachu is still the star here, and while Danny DeVito didn't voice Detective Pikachu, the voice actor here does do a brilliant job. Conclusion time now, and Detective Pikachu is a very surprising game that, while sounds like a bizarre idea for a game, it works really well. It tells a fun and memorable tale that does expand the Pokemon world really well. Yes, it's Professor Layton and Phoenix Wright gameplay is a bit basic and easy, but it's a great game for kids and fans of the franchise, and certainly one of the best spin-offs the Pokemon franchise has seen. Overall, I would give Detective Pikachu an 8 out of 10 with the title of great. Thank you for watching my review, like, rate and subscribe, and until next time, happy gaming. Bye!